Good afternoon to you, Coach. Coach, just going back to the match against Amazulu, you had just in your reflections on the match spoken about just how the team sat back and stopped playing and thus got punished. But of course, you were able to find your way back with that late goal. But situations like that, where you sort of switch off in the game, when you go up against a team like a Swallows FC, we've seen that, especially in the previous match that they play, that's a team that you need to stay sort of switched on throughout the match when you are playing against them. Is that something that you've spoken about preparing for this match to make sure that the full minutes that are given for the match, the team is fully switched on? Because a team like Swallows can really take it away from you in the last minutes. And just another one, Coach, reflection on the defensive structure that you are trying to build. You've spoken highly on that department being important in reaching sort of the ambitions of the team this season. How vital is the focus of that department in this upcoming game?
Yeah, thank you. I think obviously going back to the Amazulu game, being our first competitive match for the new season, also considering what happened in the previous season in terms of the result against Amazulu, there was a lot of nerves from the players in that game. And, I thought our pre-season, we had a very, very good pre-season, and the way we were playing, the opposition that we played against, some of them we annihilated them. But we didn't look anything like what we saw in pre-season in that match. Now, many reasons for that. One could be that was our first competitive match. Two, because of the result that Cape Town City had against Amazulu in the previous season. So it was always going to be important for us to, in terms of engaging and seeing where we are. Winning the match was obviously a very, very key and important factor in terms of building the motivation and the confidence of the team. I look at then obviously the league match against SuperSport, similar scenario, still looking to try and find our feet. Also, not very effective going forward, very nervy, very cagey, and end up getting the draw. The game now against Royal AM, I think there was a big difference. We started the game extremely well, created the first chance to score, and conceded a cheap goal. But at no stage did I think we were going to lose that match, because I saw a confident team. I started seeing what I was seeing in pre-season. And I think now going into this game, I think we go in with a lot more confidence and a lot more belief in ourselves. But at the same time, like you stated, we're playing against a very, very good team in Morocco Swallows, who had an exceptional season last season, already have started very, very well this season again, and going to be a very, very tough match against a very, very good team with a good coach.
Coach, just about availability of players, and both do you have anybody who's not available for the game? But also, do you have a nice headache? Because I noticed, like in the last game, you had Dove on the bench, Ajugun was back. Is the pool of players getting a little bigger?
Slightly, slightly. There was one part of the question the previous gentleman asked that I didn't answer, which is my focus has been on our defensive formation in terms of ensuring that we're looking to keep clean sheets. And as I said, the way we conceded the goal against Royal AM was a little bit disappointing. We got caught on a set piece where we switched off. We allowed them to play a quick early ball, and that was disappointing. But I look at the rest of the game, the 85 minutes of the game, where we were exceptional again defensively. Only other chance that AM really had was Mabene hit the crossbar, and then on the rebound, Hugo Marquez had to make a very, very good save. Obviously the squad currently, it kind of picks itself, because we do have certain players that have been out. So we have exactly the right amount of numbers to take to a game, which is 20 players. Dove, to be brutally honest, he's been on the bench, but at no stage was I going to use him. We allowed to travel with 20, hence the fact Dove has been there. Dove has only managed to play 30 minutes of a friendly match up to date. We're hoping to now have 2 more friendlies coming up after this game against Swallows, where we will get the match minutes a lot higher for Ed Milson, so that we are obviously 100% sure that he's back and fully fit. Fakhri Lakay obviously joined us as of last week, training again. But I still think Fakhri is at least another 2 or 3 weeks away from being physically fit. So slowly but surely, we're starting to get the players back in the team.
Thank you. Morning, everyone. Coach, what has been behind Terence Mashiko's rich form? He's scoring goals, winning man of the matches.
I think, a lot of hard work from Terence, to be brutally honest. Obviously, I've come in and I've given him a lot of confidence and a lot of belief, and the way I want him to play as a wing back, I've given him a little bit more freedom. And he's exploiting that to the full potential, but truthfully, it's all about his willingness to work very, very hard in training. He's always above everybody else in terms of the intensities of his games, the amount of sprints. And I'm pretty sure Terence will be getting in that Bafana squad someday soon.
Thanks very much. Hi, Eric. Can I ask you about Swallows? Have you been impressed by them? I mean, their pressing game against Pirates in that first game was quite intense for this early in the season, did you think? Or I don't know if you agree with that. And you did say that it's a good coach. Why do you say that?
Well, you look at the season that they've had last season, and now obviously a lot of draws, but 21 draws is quite a phenomenal record, which shows you that they are a very, very difficult team to beat. So obviously the coach is getting something very, very right. I don't think they've ever conceded more than 2 goals. No one's ever given them a smack or a hiding. And for a team that came up from the NFD, to find themselves where they find themselves right now is a fantastic job. So a lot of credit has to be given to Brackies. The type of formation they play, they've obviously caused chaos with some of the teams not understanding how to press them, because they play with the fullbacks inside and the wingers providing the width, and for some teams it's been hard to figure them out, and truthfully they got some players that have really shined under Brackies' management skills.
And what have you thought of that first game against Pirates? Do you think they're the fittest looking side so far?
Yeah, I'll be honest, Mark. I think they are. They're looking very, very strong. They're looking fit. But I think a lot of it boils down to confidence. The morale is very, very high at Swallows, and the belief has basically continued from last season. So they're stepping in the right direction. The confidence is very, very high, and I think that's what you see in terms of the intensity, the way they play, is because of the confidence that they have in themselves and as a team. So we're well aware that it's going to be a tough matchup against them. But I'm pretty happy with what I've seen in terms of our intensities of late. This game against Royal AM, I think we saw a lot more from us, especially going forward.
Thank you, Fatu. Good afternoon, Coach. And Coach, just looking at how Coach Truter was saying yesterday that you are one of the highest scoring teams, considering that's what happened last season, and also going into this match, he is very, very clear on what he needs to do, especially not considering goals, because it's an away match for him and also for you. There's a home match. Are you also very much looking into the fact that, it's very important not to consider home, or maybe you'll be looking out to go all out and just manage to score more goals?
Yeah, obviously it's very important not to want to concede at home, so that's first and foremost the most important factor for us, to ensure that we look to try and keep a clean sheet at home. The most important factor for us is that what we've seen in this game against Royal AM, the chances we created, to be honest, especially in the second half, we could potentially have won the game 3 or 4-0. Or we could have scored at least another 2 or 3 goals in the second half against Royal AM. And that was a positive for me going into a game of this nature, especially against the Swallows. We need to be firing up front. We need to ensure that we get a positive result at home, be it 1-0, 2-0, and so that we can take some sort of lead to Dobsonville come next month.
Coach, Swallows has signed, I think, about 14 players this season. Does it make it a bit difficult on your side to try and figure out what kind of lineup or approach they'll come with for this match? Thank you.
I think tactically they'll stick to what they know and what they've been doing. It's made them successful. It's just going to be obviously certain individual qualities of the players that come in. I saw they signed Machaman recently. Skillful, tricky, young player that's obviously going to want to come in and prove a point. So they've strengthened quite well in certain areas. Klanti, when they lost him, bringing in Sassman, so they brought in some experience as well. But in terms of how they play tactically, I think they'll be exactly what they were last season, no different. So it's just about the individual players that we will prepare for, because we know majority of them. We know them very, very well, and we know where their strengths and their weaknesses lie, and we'll prepare accordingly.
Thanks again, Fatu. And just on that, Coach, we talk about the team's strength throughout now, but just in your last line, you talk about the weaknesses that you could exploit. What have you seen as those weaknesses, Coach, that you could exploit in this match?
I don't want to give that away, eh? Don't want to give that away right now.
Coach, you mentioned the weather today. We've had a crazy one. I've even had hail on my side, but it looks like it will clear up by Sunday, but still be cold. Do you think the conditions will play a part in the game?
I hope the conditions are good, to be honest, because we want to see a good football match. And, we're a team that likes to play good football. We're a possession-based team. And what I've seen from Swallows, they similarly want to play good football. So, we hope the conditions are good. We hope that there's no strong winds, because then it turns the game into an ugly game. We hope that it's not raining, that the fields are flooded, so like what we see now, our training field is completely flooded, and we're going to have to go and train on the artificial field, unfortunately, which is a bit disappointing a day before we have to play the match.
Thank you. Eric, how essential do you think it is to win this MTN8, just in terms of giving you a massive boost for the rest of the season, could potentially propel you into championship contention? Do you see it as quite important to get some success, or is it would it just be nice to do well in the MTN8, but it's not sort of critical?
I don't think it's critical. I think the club, we've won trophies. It's not like the club hasn't won trophies. My objective is always to come in and win trophies. I want to win trophies. We set ourselves the target of wanting to win them, but our ambition is very, very high this season. I've explained that to the players, that we need to be ambitious. We need to want to strive and achieve things this season. We need to try and finish in the top 4. Last time I was here, we managed to finish 3rd. Can we replicate that? Can we compete right till the end of the season for the league? That is our objective. And obviously, winning the cup is added motivation, the morale, the confidence that I was speaking about. It's no different to what I said to the players ahead of the Royal AM game, that what you don't want to do is going into a semi-final after a loss. You want to go into the semi-final after a win. So that next game was the most important game, and that's how we will treat it. We will go into this game with a lot more confidence and self-belief from the results that we just achieved, obviously, in the league. And then we look to build on that confidence moving into the semi-final and then into the next league matches. But I don't want to look too far ahead. But yes, our ambition is to achieve and win things this season, including the MTN8. But it's not going to be the end of the world if we don't.